Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and because people were asking, and this dude was bragging about this little thing that he has in his kegs all the time, doing the dry hopping thing inside the kegs, we decided to talk a little bit more about homebrewing equipment, especially when it comes to bringing hops into your brew. May they be during the boil and after the boil. I brought my sad hop sack because I wanted
This isn't all that sad.
I wanted to contribute.
Look at the color of this thing.
Yeah, it's been used.
It's got some, you could just use this to bitter with. This is just lupulin.
Put right in there,
Put that right in there.
Yeah.
I love it.
So tell us more about this, because I think this
is what someone was asking about is, so I have this stainless steel mesh cylinder. The bottom is solid, but the top has got some holes in it. And this is what I dry hop with. And when I say I dry hop in the keg.
Yes.
So I put the beer in the keg first. I do the best I can to purge the top of the keg with oxygen, and then I usually, what I'll do with this is I'll boil this to make it, because the mesh, there's just no way, or at least I worry with the mesh, especially now that I've used it a few times, there's still a little like residue, hop residue in there. I'll boil it to make sure it's completely sanitized, if not sterile. And then I set it down on something where I've got some sanitizer, and I'll just drop my hot pellets in there. Like that last New England IPA I made, I had 2 ounces of
right to that line.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I think it must have been right to there.
Yeah.
And then I just slowly drop this into the keg.
Is it heavy enough?
And then I repurge.
To go right down to the bottom.
It seems to sink just fine. So I've thought about adding some glass marbles to it. I have glass marbles just for that purpose, but this does seem to sink. And the other thing is, I don't go back in and fish it out. I just leave it in there the whole time.
True. Yeah.
I did dry hop. Remember that hoppy session amber I did? That was like 2 ounces of Cascade in this thing.
Right. That's right.
Then I had a beer a while back before that where someone said, "Oh, just leave the dry hops in the keg." And so I was curious, and that session amber, leaving the hops in there, it didn't get vegetal. It just was nice and hoppy aroma.
Nice.
And that was in there for a while. So I wasn't afraid when I did the New England IPA, because I knew that we'd drain that quick. So
that's right. It lasted what, 5 days?
5 days.
Fermented for 10.
Yep, exactly.
Finished in 5.
In and out, in and out.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, this is pretty good. I think this was like around $40 at my local homebrew shop.
$40.
Yeah, 40-ish. It was a lot, but for what it is, it's all stainless.
Yeah.
And it has a little ring on the top, so if you were really cute, you could put like some dental floss.
Yeah.
But I like I said, I just drop it in.
Leave it in there. Yeah.
I just drop it in.
So for probably a tenth of the price of that, I got these. I got 2 of these bags. They have a nice drawstring, and you definitely need to, like you do with that. I boil these, and they don't melt, which is nice. I think the first time I had it, when I bought it straight from the store, and it was actually white, not this electric yellow green that it is now. I just I soaked it in sanitizing solution, and then I got probably 4 or 5 marbles, which I also sanitized, them being glass. It was easy to do. Put that in the bottom, put the hops in, and then just dropped it into the keg. It sank to the bottom, and I never fished it out either. I just let it sit in the keg as I dispensed, and then once the keg is kicked, then you can just pour it out.
And so far, using this in a keg, you haven't had it, at least as far as you know, get stuck on the bottom of the dip tube or something, huh? That's pretty good.
Not yet.
Because with this, I mean, that's not going to get stuck on a dip tube, but, just from the suction. But that's great.
Yep. So far, so good. So,
what's the most amount of hops you think you've thrown into this guy for a dry hop?
3 maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing too much. I mean, again, like if 2 comes up to there. It's not much when they're dry and you put them in. You're kind of like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
And then once they get saturated with the beer, they do, expand.
Yeah.
But again, I think that with 3, you're probably filling it up to the halfway point. And again, it's not detrimental to dispensing the beer from your keg.
Right.
And it does the same thing.
Seems to be good.
Tell me more about this.
So this guy here is sort of just a bigger version of this, but without a top on it. It's got a big opening on the top, and it has the 2. I don't know exactly why one is part way, the other's the other way, but it's got these little L brackets, so it can hang inside the kettle, on the side wall of the kettle, although because I'm using a 15-gallon keggle, a batch only comes to here. So I just, so conveniently enough, I just let it sit on the bottom of the kettle, and the wort, as you can see, comes to probably somewhere around here.
Up and down,
yeah, so this guy, obviously I was in a rush. I didn't give this guy as good as a rinse as I usually do. But I usually hose it out, this thing too. I hose it out to get most of the cake out. I don't worry so much about this because it's going to go in the boil. But it's got a pretty thick stainless steel hoops, and the two, or I guess it's just one down the side. It's just stainless steel mesh, and the bottom is mesh too. So I'll occasionally use my spoon if I'm always a little bit concerned that I'm decreasing utilization because the hops aren't as free flowing. But most of the beers I make, I'm only using, maybe 4 ounces of hops, and there's plenty of room in there for them to dance around and do their thing. The reason why I use this in the kettle, though, is because I chill with a plate chiller.
Yep.
And so I need to try to keep as much of that out of the plate chiller as possible. Although I have brewed in the past with like 2 ounces of just free swimming hops and passed them through the plate chiller, and everything's been just fine, but this is sort of an insurance policy. One thing I have done in the past, which I want to explore a little bit more in the future, is putting the hops into the kettle free floating for the boil, then dropping this in towards the end and get the pump recirculating and redirect the recirc into here.
Yeah.
And before I go to the chiller, and this should capture, it'll capture most of that debris. Then I can hook up the plate chiller and I've captured most of the hops. That way they are free flowing, but I haven't noticed the utilization issue. But then again, I'm not trying to push the limits of super bitter beer, which we all know. So anyway, so this is cool. This was maybe $30 or maybe even more. I think I'll get this online though. So, but I like both of these.
That was your local homebrew store?
This was at the local homebrew store, but
Me too.
I'm sure this is nothing special. Our homebrew store doesn't really have, trust me, they're not making custom stuff. So,
so that's probably some kind of hop screen that is small enough to put into a keg.
Yeah.
Certainly you can find that online if you're not in your local homebrew store, but that's what you're looking for if you're looking for that kind of screen.
Yep.
Pretty nice, and I think the price justifies the value you're going to get out of it. Sometimes I freak out about how clean these actually get, but with the stainless steel screen, I would feel great about cleaning it with PPW, and then sanitizing / even boiling it in a pan of water and having it being like you said, probably sterilized before putting into the keg. So I hope you like our hop screen exploration here.
This is in response to someone who dropped a comment about how do we dry hop.
I want to see that. Yeah. So hopefully that gives you inspiration.
Usually when we've talked about it, it's in a keg and I can't show it.
You can't open it up. Anyway, what I was saying was hopefully we've inspired you to buy something that will help you dry hop in your own keg, and let us know how that goes when you actually buy something. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We try to do this every week. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Hop on. Screen on, baby.
Nice.